Hello, children. I hope you all are very well, and I pray to God that you all stay at home and be safe and healthy. We do not know for how long this kind of environment will be here, and as Bihar is registering a high number of cases, children, it's better to remain safe in your homes, because if anyone is infected, then it will spread to other members of the family. So, all of you, please remain indoors. There is no need to meet your friends. Stay healthy. That's the most important thing these days for us. Previous day, children, I had not give you any questions. I was just covering the major part of the chapter. So today I will start with the questions. I will give you the questions first, and then I will move on to the next topic. So the first question is, what type of technical support helped to boost the farm productivity? So you can understand what I am asking. What type of technical support help to boost the farm productivity? So here the technology is important. So points related to technology must be included in this. The second question, why did it become necessary to improve the rural infrastructure? What facilities are included under this? So if you see the notes, children, you will get the answer that why it was necessary to develop the rural infrastructure, because it is connected to our farmers. And of course you will write the other points, and what facilities, what are the other areas that are covered under rural infrastructure. My next question was, what were the main aims of green and white revolution? Means why the green and the white revolution was started in our country. What were the aims of the government? What the government wanted to achieve through this green and white revolution? In the fourth question I had given you, in the current situation, mention the challenges of our farmers, especially after green revolution. So here, children, you will not write the challenges that for that our farmers were facing before, but after the green revolution, what type of challenges that the farmers are facing. And fifth question was, why stagnation in agricultural sector is cause of alarm for India. Okay, why stagnation in agriculture sector is cause of alarm, why it is something very very important for India, that this situation must be over. We must overcome this situation. So why stagnation in agricultural sector? You have to give the reason that why it is alarming. What I will send you the question through the snapshots. So why stagnation in agricultural sector is cause of alarm in India. So these 5 questions are related to what we have done in the previous classes. So you will write these answers, and then we can have an open discussion through the online class. Children, moving on to the next topic of the chapter, it is food security. And of course, food security is not there in your syllabus, but the CBSE has introduced another topic last year itself, impact of globalization on agriculture. Now, in this in this topic, children, though there was no question in the previous year examination, but it can be an important topic for you all, because last year the question was not there. Last year means in the previous session. So the exam that is just over, for you all, question can be given from this topic. So it's a very important topic for you all. So your topic is impact of globalization on agriculture. Now here one thing is important. First thing, what do we understand by globalization? This is a very commonly used term these days. We say that the entire world is a global village. So what does this mean? The entire world is a global village. It means connection of different parts of the world. Okay, so connectivity with different parts of the world. Now you may think connectivity with different parts of the world was there in the previous days also. In the ancient days also we have got evidence of trade between different civilizations. We have got evidence of trade between the kingdoms, between the rulers of the world. Even the Chinese, the Silk Route was there, where goods used to move from China to the European countries, East European countries. Even we have found that there is evidence that especially when the British took over the world, it used to be said that the sun never used to set in British Kingdom. In fact, the British had spread their rule in such a way that almost from the western to the eastern hemisphere they were ruling. And this proverb is used that the sun never used to set in British Kingdom. Trading had progressed during that time also, during the ancient period also. So what is the newness in the globalization of today? Now, globalization of today means expansion of international trade, expansion of cultural, economic, as well as political activities. And we are a country which have seen a lot of globalization in different phases. We have seen that different religions propagated from our country. We have also seen that different rulers came to our country. This we have studied in class 9th. And when these rulers settled in India, they brought people from their countries, propagated their religion, propagated their culture here. Similarly, people also went from here to the other parts of the world and they propagated our religion, our culture in different parts of the world. You must be remembering, children, that in Jahangir's court, it was the British who came to India seeking permission for doing trade. They came to India as trader. Now this is a part of globalization, or you can say an example of globalization itself. And when they came, trading started on a large scale in the country. Before that also trading was done. Some of the spices went from our country to abroad. But when the British rule was set up in the country firmly, most of our agricultural products went to Britain mainly for processing, and the finished product flooded our market from there. In fact, when the Europeans started colonization, this globalization started in a big way. So, examples of globalization is not only the exchange of trade, it was the exchange of goods, ideas, religious sentiments, even anti-terrorist protection is a part of this globalization. Children, first let me do the causes of globalization in the modern times. What has led to globalization in such a big way? Now, the first and the most important reason is the improvement in transportation, making global travel easier. Nowadays, you are finding that so many airports have become international airports in our country. Uh, Many small airports are being converted into big ones so that the movement of goods can easily take place, and air travel has become very easy, very accessible, and so this is one of the main cause, that is the improvement in transportation system. Even our trains are moving to the adjacent country. This system is already there in the European country, but very recently it is developed in India, that our train is also moving to Bangladesh, even to Pakistan. Now, the second most important factor is the way how the goods are transported. It is known as containerization. Container trucks, container trains, containerization, that is using steel transport containers. You must have seen the pictures of container trucks, children, which transport different kinds of goods. So nowadays, this using steel container transport system has become very easy and cheaper to for the trading system. So goods are loaded in these containers and they can move over roadways, and even in case of railways also, even there are cargo planes. So the goods can be easily transported over long distance. In case of international transportation system over long distance, the steel containers are there in the ships, and the ships, though it take lot of time, but it moves over the sea, and the goods is not perishable, because sometimes the steel containers are also attached with our refrigerators. In Japan, they are refrigerated ships itself. So refrigerated containers are there. They are made of steel, they are refrigerated, and even some of the perishable commodities can move from India to Saudi Arabia or the Middle East countries very easily. The third most important point is that very much improvement in communication. So the entire world can share information very easily around the world. So improved technology makes it easier to communicate and share information all over the world. The next important point is growth of multinational companies. You must be knowing what is multinational companies. The companies which market their products to different world countries. So growth of multinational companies with a global presence in many different economies. So there are many companies from different parts of the world which are there in India, and even some Indian companies are there in the world. The next important point for globalization is growth of global trading blocks. Now in the world, children, there are several trading blocks. I think there are around more than 10 such global trading blocks, like ASEAN, ASEAN, or European Union, which have reduced their national barriers. That means they can easily trade among themselves. Like the Southeast Asian countries can easily trade among themselves. So growth of global trading blocks, they have made the trading system very easy among the member countries. Then the next one is reduced tariff barriers, which encourages global trade. Now what is tariff? Tariff is the export duty or the import duty imposed by the government of a country for any goods which is leaving the country or entering the country. So the tariff barriers have been reduced, which have encouraged global trade. In this agriculture portion, whatever so far you have studied, here also you have studied that the government have reduced the uh, import duties on agricultural products. So the agricultural products are easily entering our country. So reduced tariff barriers, which encourages global trade. Next important thing is that growth of global media. This is very well known to you all children. Because the global media is very active, we can easily get news and information immediately from different parts of the world. In fact, there has been a revolution in the media and communication sector all over the world. Our next point is global trade cycle, which means that as countries are getting interconnected with each other, so if there is any kind of recession or economic degrowth in any country, it is affecting the economy of the trading partners as well. Like I just said that there are global trading blocks. So if there is any kind of recession or degrowth in any of the member countries of this trading bloc, then indirectly it will affect the other countries also. The main reason is that because the production will be affected, and if production is affected in any of the country, then obviously trading will also be affected in between the member countries of the trading blocks. So because of this interconnection, any kind of recession will affect all the members in the trading partner group or the trading blocks group. Then financial system is becoming global in nature. Previously in Europe, different countries had their own currency, but now euro is the commonly accepted currency there. So financial system is now becoming increasingly global in nature. It also means that almost same type of financial reforms is there all over the world. Then I had said that improved mobility of capital due to reduction in capital barriers. So capital barriers are like, for example, fixation of certain rules and regulation, or for example, like copyright. We give, if anyone is producing something original, then we give a copyright that nobody else will be able to copy the material. So this kind of barriers were there previously. So gradually, as there is mobility of capital, because we find that a lot of capital is moving from the developed nations to the developing nations. So improved mobility of capital is there, and this is possible because lot of barriers, capital barriers has been removed, like fixation of certain tariffs or rules and regulations or copyright. A lot of this rules has been relaxed, and so there is mobility of capital very easily from one part of the world to the other. Increased mobility, our next point is increased mobility of labor. Global trade remittances now play a major role in transfer from developed to developing countries. Now what do I mean by this? Now children, one day if you come to this passport office of Patna, you will find a huge lot of people are standing in the line to get their passport. And let me tell you that labor in our country is very, very cheap. Whereas if the labor population moves to any other country where it is costly, they can earn much. So we find that a huge population of our country has moved to the Middle East countries, has moved to other countries of the world, mainly to earn money. And because of this, we find that in recent times there has been a lot of money transfer by this labor force from the developed countries to the developing countries. And of course, internet enables firms to communicate on a global level. You can now see how you all are utilizing this internet for studying. Similarly, the international firms they easily communicate with the help of this internet facilities on a global level, and it helps them to get cheaper supplies by dealing with a wider choice of firms. So the firms can, on the global level itself, they can easily give their demands, and they can have a choice, better choice. Consumers are also able to get a wide range of goods, because the consumers can also similarly order online. So because of all these factors, that is mainly it is the technology which is playing the role in globalization of the world. And obviously, when the globalization has taken place in the world, none of the sectors of the world is untouched. So obviously, the agricultural sector of India will not be spared. So there is direct impact of globalization on agriculture. So today I have simply done the backdrop, that what do we mean by globalization and what are the reasons for globalization. So I'll just summarize the points again. So children, globalization is the connection of different countries, connection of different parts of the world, and it has led to expansion of international trade, cultural, economic, political activities, and for example, there is exchange of goods, ideas, religious sentiments, anti-terrorist protection. The main causes, the first one was development of transport network, and secondly, the development of containerization, that is the steel containers which can easily transport different kinds of commodities over long distance, whether it is land route, whether it is sea routes, whether it is air routes. Now we have this improved technology also which helps to communicate. There is growth of multinational companies which markets in different parts of the world. There has been growth of global trading blocks, and it is easy to trade between the members. Many parts of the world, many countries have totally reduced the tariff barriers, which encourages global trade. Global media is playing a role in a large way. There is the global trade circle, where any kind of recession in any economy leads to damage to the other economies as well. Then financial system is increasingly becoming global in nature. Improved mobility of capital, similarly increased mobility of labor, and lastly it is the internet which is playing the major role in introducing and influencing the life of the people through the process of globalization. So children, next day we will study about how agriculture is getting influenced, agriculture in India is getting impacted due to globalization.